Okay, gang, so we are going to, or Horde, should I say Horde? Okay, Horde. We are going to use an old trick called a smear. And what I want to do is I want to take our little turtle here. So I'm going to ask you to open up the turtle FLA. And I want to make him zip across the screen lightning fast. And so we're going to be using a term called smearing, which is basically a fancy squash and stretch, but this is a much more simpler form. We're going to get into more complicated smearing very soon. But what I need to do first is I have my background, which is like this, tan color, and I have the sky here. It's currently locked because I don't want to draw anything on it. I want to kind of focus all my attention on him. But I do want to expand out my background to say 20. Because I know we're going to be using it minimally 20 frames. So to get started, I'm going to expand it out. And to do that again, we hold Fn and we hit F5, not F6. I do not want another keyframe here because if I move the land by accident on one keyframe, you'll see a blip. So we're just going to hit F5. Whenever you want to extend it out without creating a new keyframe, you hit F5. Then we're going to jump back to our little turtle here. And what I want to do is I want to zip across the screen really, really fast. So I'm going to take your transform tool and I'm going to move the pivot point to his tail. And I'm going to hit F6 to make a new keyframe. And I want it to be almost a spring effect. So I'm actually going to pull him back a little tiny bit, hit F6, pull him back a little bit, hit F6, and now I'm going to start kind of launching him forward. So I'm going to stretch him this way. And so over the course of 4 frames, I'm nudged him back, and now I'm starting to stretch him out. And then on frame 5 is when we get ridiculous. So I'm going to hit F5, FN F6 again. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to really, really, really stretch him out, like kind of absurdly stretch him out. And then I'm even going to inch him forward a little bit. And then I'm going to hit F6 again, and then again absurdly stretch him out, like an insane amount. And then hit F6 again. And this time I'm going to move the pivot point to his nose. And I'm going to start squashing him. And then hit F6 again. And I'm going to maybe cut it in half this time. Hit F6 again. I want him to look like he's elastic. So I may even go a little bit beyond. And so I'm just keep hitting F6, F6. And then I'm going to kind of spring him back. And so if I turn on the onion skins, you can kind of see him going across. And then once you're finished with that, I went out to about 20. So I want to extend the whole thing out so he doesn't disappear. So I'm going to hit F5 again, just to extend him out. And then I'm going to test it. So again, it's Command Return. So this is what's called smearing. Basically what I'm trying to do is trying to average the left side with the right side, which creates this crazy thing that looks like this. But when I Command Return, he shoots across the screen. Okay, so do that, and then we'll jump into this face smear, which is a little bit more complicated, and then we'll get into your project.